So it looks like the school shooter's dad has also been arrested. If you guys remember, we just covered this not too long ago. The father is actually being held accountable for the kid's actions and his own actions at the same time. Let's tune into the video and see what's going on out here in these streets.
And tonight, the suspected Appalachia school shooter and his father are both behind bars without bond. 14-year-old Colt Gray is facing 4 felony murder charges. He's accused of killing 2 students and 2 teachers Wednesday morning. Colt Gray's attorney says they were not asking for bond. Because Colt is a minor, the maximum penalty he'll face is life without parole. Meanwhile, his father, Colin Gray, faces several charges, including involuntary manslaughter. The GBI says he knowingly allowed his son to have a weapon. Colin's attorneys did not request bond. The judge said if they added all his charges together, he could face nearly 180 years in prison.
Parents should really watch what their kids are posting on social media and, remove any weapons in the house if they feel their student or their child is facing some type of mental health crisis.
A warning.
Listen, man, I said the same thing when I reviewed the video the first time it happened, that parents have to be held accountable at the same time to what their kids be doing, because they're pretty much they're not paying attention. They're not paying attention to what's going on with their kids. They're not paying attention to how their kids are feeling. They probably don't even care. And it's honestly sad to see, because now this young 14-year-old kid, his life is no longer a life. It's thrown away. It's gone forever. Off of what exactly? Off of what? And then the fact that he then takes people's lives as a cause of that, and he still gets to see life. He still gets to breathe air. That is... It's not fair. If you want to be real, it's not fair, because justice will never be served. Parents must do. We as parents, you as parents, have to be held accountable for what your kids do also. You know what that makes people do? It makes people put a fire under their behind, and it makes them take accountability for what goes on in their household. It's clear as day. That's the best way to fix a lot of these issues, is if we take it back to what's going on in the households and how they are raising their kids. We wouldn't have these issues if people had raised their kids the right way, if people were raising their kids in a positive way, positive light. We wouldn't have these issues. But this is very unfortunate, man, and I'm glad that they're actually holding the parents accountable in this situation also.
From Sheriff Freeman, as the Appalachia shooting could set a new precedent for punishing parents of mass shooters in Georgia. Carmen Brown spoke to a criminal attorney to explain the charges before Colt Gray's father and how the prosecution and defense might develop their arguments.
Colin Gray facing a total of 14 charges, including 2 counts of second-degree murder. Barrow County DA Brad Smith announced in Friday's hearing there could be more.
Second-degree murder is often based on whether or not someone, during the commission of the cruelty to children in the second degree, causes the death of another, and it doesn't matter whether or not somebody meant to do that or anything like that.
But how can authorities charge Colin Gray if he didn't pull the trigger? Travis Griffin explains it as transferred intent. For example, if someone helps commit a robbery that results in a homicide, the co-conspirator could be charged with murder, even if they didn't pull the trigger.
It's essentially the same transferred intent situation that's happening in a second-degree murder charge, where they're saying, well, you did commit cruelty to children, and now someone's dead. And so we transfer that intent to the death.
Griffin says prosecutors might build a case like the one that put the parents of Michigan school shooter Ethan Crumbley's behind bars.
Part of law is what's called foreseeability, whether or not somebody has culpability because it's foreseeable that some bad thing could have happened.
He says defense might counter by focusing sole accountability on Colt Gray.
And we saw it in Michigan as well. essentially the argument is that, you can't hold parents accountable for the actions of somebody else, even if it is their child.
Griffin says if Colin Gray is convicted, this could create ramifications in Georgia for parents setting boundaries with their kids regarding.
I mean, I think that they should. Honestly, that's negligence. Even the simple fact that if the father did not have the gun in the household and let the son have access to the gun, we wouldn't be having this conversation today. So whatever happened at home, the father he did not put away his gun correctly. He did not lock it up. He left it probably out wherever he wanted and let his son know, hey, this is where the gun is. No code, no lockbox, nothing like that. He probably took the gun up nice and easily while his father wasn't looking. Like, come on, man. We could do better. We could do better. We can do better, and we have to do better. Hold the parents accountable. Now, it's a different story if the kid now went out and did something. He stole a gun and, he went out, killed somebody. Had nothing to do with the father. Cool. We understand that. But this actually does have something to do with the household. It has something to do with what his father was doing. What his father did with the weapons, at least. It's lack. It's lack of responsibility, honestly. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts down below in the comments. I'd really like to know y'all thoughts. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Should parents be held accountable for their kids' actions also? Let me know y'all thoughts, man. Until next time, peace.